Okay, this level is super annoying because it's actually really easy to fail. So here, we have to prevent all annihilations, and the things that can annihilate are the positron and the electron over here. Pretty much how we have to win this level is we, a down quark, plus two other down quarks, have to join together to form a -1 charge, which will neutralize a +1 charge on this positron. The annoying thing is that even when you do neutralize it, the electron, because it's so small, will tend to move very, very fast, so you yourself have to keep moving in order to stay out of the way of the electron. Okay, let's try that again. So try and keep your distance from that electron, and hopefully it actually stays like that. Okay. Alright, so in this level we meet... no, hang on. In this level, it's also like the prevent annihilation thing, but we are given some leeway here. We have to prevent less than 7. We have to prevent 7 or more annihilations. Pretty much what's going to happen is a bunch of up quarks and anti-up quarks and positrons and electrons are going to spawn. Overall, these things are going to be charged, which means they're eventually going to annihilate if you don't intervene. The best way to do this level is to grab one of these things and then expel it towards the outside, because this barrier will block you but not other particles, and when you expel it outside, it will take them out of play, and hopefully they won't annihilate each other. But, oh, that was quick. So if you're really lucky, the annihilations can actually cause explosions which launch everything outwards towards the outside where they disappear. And once you annihilate enough of them, get rid of enough of them, there won't be enough to annihilate anyway, so you'll win the level. Alright, so I'll just slow this down. Pretty much what happens in this level is we have to cause 5 annihilations, but we're confined to this box over here. What's going to happen is a bunch of positrons are going to keep spawning and moving upwards in that direction. So, like 2 levels ago, we have to use our negative charge to influence the motion of the positron in order to make it curve towards each of these boxes. And another thing is that we can also use our motion in order to influence the motion of the positron. Whoop, I'll just expel that away. Oh, that was lucky. I used a negative charge instead to repel it. Okay, so I'll just show you an example of how we can use motion to curve it. So if I just sit here, it heads over to that where it just went there. Okay, that was not a good example. I'll do it again. Or we can just sit closer to it, and that will cause it to have greater curvature. Once it does get close enough, there will be some local effects where the positron can be attracted to the electron despite the anti-down quarks. So a better example of how we can use motion to affect the... that was close. To the positron is with that. I was moving in a particular direction to kind of further augment the motion of the positron. If you're really unlucky, the anti-down quark can annihilate you, but it's very unlikely. This straight ahead one is actually really hard because, oh, that was quick. That was quite lucky. The positron just went straight past me. Usually it doesn't happen. Generally you have to stay fairly in the middle. Alright. So in this level, what we have to do is we have to put a positron in that circle. Now, we've got a bunch of positive blocking barriers over here, which means the only way for the positron to get from here to here is you have to go out there, around here, and over here. You can go through these barriers no problem, but yeah. And what's another complicating thing is that electrons are going to keep spawning over here and here, moving across the screen like that. So this is pretty much just about timing and not being too unlucky. It's not too hard if you play your cards right. And we should be safe now. Alright, so again, I actually paused this time. Again, we've got a bunch of these, whatever you call these particles, 2 up quarks and an electron, and 2 anti-up quarks and a positron are going to spawn, and we have to prevent 7 annihilations. Again, the best way to solve this level is to just take particles out of play through the edge of the screen. However, we can only send out what are these positive particles out through the edge. So eventually, if you take out enough, there will only be negative particles left, and they'll be repelled from each other anyway. Okay, I haven't gotten rid of all the particles that can annihilate, but because they're so charged, they'll repel each other, so we just have to wait it out. Okay, so in this level, instead of keeping something below a certain particle population, here we're trying to reach a certain particle population. Pretty much what's going to happen is this kind of like flower thing is going, and this anti-flower thing is just going to keep spawning, and we have to make sure they don't annihilate so we can reach 70. Pretty much the general strategy is grab this flower, try and stick it over here. You might get these anti-particles getting over here, but they won't annihilate because this barrier blocks everything. And yeah, pretty much it. Oh, and obviously survive because, well, you can't do much when you're dead. Yeah, it's not really a good idea to try and manipulate the anti-particle stuff because, well, you're pretty much just playing chicken, in short. Thankfully, you won't ever run out of particles to make. So the only way you can lose this level is if you annihilate with yourself. That was way too close. I wasn't watching. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so that is the end of chapter 3, and I will see you in the next episode.